As we close out the year, the burden of high food and energy prices will crash the global economy. The current dollar-denominated monetary system is broken. It no longer functions in a healthy and sustainable way. As the world endures the coming economic crisis, world leaders will work together to set up a new monetary system. What will that system look like? And more importantly, how does it fit into Bible prophecy? Hey guys, Britt here. Welcome to End Times Bible Prophecy, and that's what we're going to talk about today is this new coming monetary system. Now, yesterday we talked about how the world is going to face another Lehman moment. Monday we talked about the coming financial collapse. This is a big story right now. Europe is out of energy. They're running out of energy. Their economy is sick. That sickness is going to spread to the global economy in the months ahead. And this is a story that is not being talked about enough in the media, but it will be talked about soon enough as we see this crash coming. Now, why is all of this going to happen? Ultimately, this comes down to we are at the end of the lifespan for the current monetary system. The current monetary system is based on the petrodollar being the backbone of global trade. It's been that way for 51 years, since 1971. The average lifespan of a monetary system is about 40 years. And for the first time ever, all the world's currencies are fiat currencies. So there's no gold standard that anyone can rush to for safety in the coming crisis. So this is going to be a crisis unlike any we've ever seen. We're going to see a financial crisis that I believe is the worst since the Great Depression, and it may rival the Great Depression. And in the midst of that, we're going to have people come together to set up a new monetary system that will function in a more sustainable way. Now, what should they set up? What should the new system be? Well, if I were putting that system together, it would be based on freedom, liberty, free enterprise, and you would have limited government and free exchange of goods and services, and gold, silver, and copper coinage would be the medium of exchange. They would be the only acceptable payments for government taxes, and government would be constrained by what precious metals and oil that it held as real money, right? And you would have freedom, liberty, and prosperity. It would be great, right? That's not what they're going to set up. Because keep in mind, the people who are going to set up this new monetary system are the same people that set up the current monetary system. So they are people that are looking out for their own interests. This is big bankers, the wealthy, the well-connected, and the system that they've set up over time, really for over 100 years and well back into the past. There's only been brief times where we had that type of freedom, but the currency systems they like to set up erode the purchasing power of that currency over time so that through inflation they can steal from the labor of the average person and favor those who hold assets like real estate, precious metals, stocks, bonds, any sorts of financial assets. So they're going to set up a similar system to that. Now, what is that system going to look like? Well, they've been telling us that central bank digital currency is going to be where the world is headed. That's been telegraphed to us through the media for several years now, and especially more recently, we saw an executive order earlier this year from Joe Biden to explore central bank digital currency in the United States. We've seen the rollout of central bank digital currencies in China and a number of other countries. Every central bank in the world has come out on this topic, and they're all quote, exploring it, right? And in fact, Jerome Powell just a couple of months ago in an interview noted that they could roll out such a currency in 2023, which is really only a few months away. So as we go into this financial crisis, which I believe is going to be an epic crisis, we're going to have food shortages, we're going to have energy shortages, and people are going to be desperate. And desperate people are willing to trade freedom in exchange for food to eat. When you're hungry, you'll do almost anything. When your children are hungry, you'll easily trade that freedom. So what would such a system mean, right? Let's look at this right here. This is the End Times Bible Prophecy newsletter from May of 2020. This is a free newsletter. If you'd like to get it, if you'd like to receive this, it comes out once a month. There's no charge to sign up for this. There's a link in the description of this video. You can go there, you can sign up, and then you'll get this every month. But this is from May 2020. It's titled Cryptocurrency and the Coming Global Tyranny. And the first part of this talks about some of the news events of that time period that were related to this very thing, to different nations trying to roll this out. But I want to focus on this section right here. It's titled Global Cryptocurrency Equals Tyranny. So, or Government Cryptocurrency Equals Tyranny. So government cryptocurrency, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about central bank digital currencies. We're not talking about Bitcoin. We're not talking about decentralized private cryptocurrencies that we hear about in the news. We're talking about something the government controls. It isn't limited. They are the ones that control it. It's not decentralized. It's very centralized. What will that mean? And here it says the end of paper money and its replacement with government-sponsored cryptocurrency will put unlimited power at the fingertips of government leaders. And you can be sure, again, that's why this is going to be the new system they roll out, not one based on freedom, liberty, and free exchange with limited government, right? They're going to want unlimited power. Not only does cryptocurrency offer a way to permanently record every financial transaction, but it will also be able to track where you go and what you do. It will track the websites you visit and make note of who your friends are. While most of this information is already available through tracking of credit and debit cards, mobile phones, and social media profiles, a state-sponsored cryptocurrency will provide unfettered access to this information. It will create a closed, government-controlled economic system where you'll be dependent on the government's cryptocurrency to pay for all your needs. If the government decides they don't like you, they can turn off your access and freeze you out of the banking system. Now, take note of that because, again, this was written in May 2020. And what did we see at the beginning of this year? In Canada, we saw truckers protesting. These weren't violent protests, yet the Canadian government froze their bank accounts, cut them off from their bank accounts. And those were private-owned bank accounts, right? We could argue about the merger of corporate and government power, but in theory, they were private bank accounts, but the government just went in there and froze them. What happens when the government is the bank, which is what central bank digital currency means? It means your bank account goes away, and now you have an account with the government, and they control it. They'll be able to decide what you can and can't buy. They'll be able to tell you where you can and can't go. In essence, they'll have complete control over your life. And while I like to think we can take measures to avoid it, the rise of government-sponsored cryptocurrency is inevitable. Let me tell you, the central bank digital currencies, they are coming. This is the system that they want to set up. There's too many people that buy into these ideas. It's going to happen. Too many people can be bought off. Like I said, they will easily trade freedom and liberty in exchange for some stuff, right? Plain and simple. So let's look at, again, why it is inevitable. Here we have most people will oppose it. Think again. Adoption of such a system will be quick and easy. The government will simply launch a campaign to claim your digital wallet. To incentivize people to do so, they'll provide an initial deposit of $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000. They'll keep upping that amount. They'll do whatever it takes to get you to take action. And once everybody is on board, they'll eliminate paper currency and all other options for payment of goods and services. And the result will be a government-sponsored cryptocurrency only economic system, one the government controls from top to bottom. So guys, once this happens, that's it. Everybody who's in that system is fenced into that system, and there is no escape. And they will use this power to put people in line who dare to try to get out and escape from that system. This goes on. It says the coming global economic system. And the Bible tells us that a system just like this is coming. And of course, the people in charge now are telling us that a system like this is coming. So we have every reason to believe that the people who would set the system up now, it's the same people the Bible tells us is going to set that system up. That's my opinion anyway. It says, none of this should surprise you. Long ago, the book of Revelation foretold the establishment of an end-times economic system eerily similar to a world dominated by central bank digital currencies. The Bible says a time will come when a global dictator will require everyone on earth to receive a mark on the right hand or the forehead. Without this mark, the people of the world will be unable to buy or sell anything. How will this work? It remains to be seen, but the worldwide rush to create central bank digital currencies provides us with a glimpse as to how such a system might work. The Bible says the Antichrist will rule a global government. In order to control who can buy and who can sell, the Antichrist will need a system capable of tracking every transaction on earth. He'll need a way to monopolize all financial transactions and a way to kick people out of the system if they don't do his bidding. A global government-controlled cryptocurrency will provide him with such a system. So that's exactly what we're talking about with central bank digital currencies. This isn't on a global scale, it's on a national scale, but it's the same system. And the Bible tells us one day that system will be global in nature. And once that system is established, there's no escape. The government has complete control. There really will be no way for you to survive outside of that system unless they allow you to, which history tells us they're not going to like that. They like control and power, right? So this is where we're headed, guys. The mark of the beast system, this global economic system of control, the foundation for that is being laid right now as we speak. It's been being laid for a long time through just digital payments in general. And we've seen restrictions placed on how much cash you can deposit in the bank, how much you can withdraw from the bank. Certain businesses have said we're doing away with cash transactions altogether. Oh, cash is inconvenient. Cash gets stolen by employees. Cash is dirty. There's all sorts of reasons for why currency needs to go away and it needs to be replaced by this new thing. Just as 100 years ago, the idea of, well, and longer, this gold needs to be replaced with a paper claim on gold. And then the paper claim on gold, that needs to be replaced by just a piece of paper guaranteed by the government, right? And now we're going to say, well, we're going to replace that piece of paper guaranteed by the government with some ones and zeros and a computer network guaranteed by the government. And you're going to be beholden to the government. They're going to have you. So this is where the Bible says we're headed, and this is where we see ourselves headed in the world today. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. Where do you think the world is headed? Do you think this new monetary system, whatever it may be, is going to look like this or something else? I don't know. Maybe I'm way wrong, but I don't think so, because this is one more sign that the return of Jesus is imminent, because the Bible tells us that this is the system the world will have during the tribulation. So as we approach the tribulation, we would expect that we would see the foundation being laid for that system. We would expect to see the other things that we expect to see in the end times sort of coming into being, the foundation being laid. We would expect to see Israel as a nation. We see that today. We would expect to see the Gog of Magog alliance coming together. We see that happening. We would expect to see Israel surrounded by enemies. We see that happening. We would expect to see calls for a global order. We would expect to see a revived Roman Empire that fits the characteristics found in Daniel chapter 2, and the European Union of today fits those characteristics. Is it the final global empire? I don't know, but it's probably a forerunner of it if it's not. So one day soon, we're going to see the Antichrist rise to power. I don't think Christians will be here to see that, but the world is going to see that, and I believe that it's very soon. We're on the cusp of that. That means that Jesus will return for his church soon. So that is reason for great hope in these tough times that we're facing right now, guys. There's a lot going on in the world that doesn't look favorable for the rest of this year and 2023, but that's okay because we have joy and hope in our lives because we know Jesus, and our hope is in Jesus Christ and not in the things of this world. So guys, keep that in the back of your mind as you go through the rest of today. There's every reason to be hopeful and filled with joy. So like this, share this, and God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. If you want to learn more about the end times and Bible prophecy, make sure to sign up for my free monthly newsletter and get your copy of my free ebook, 7 Signs of the End Times. Just follow the link in the description to get your free book. Also, make sure to check out all of my books. Just look up Britt on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple iBooks, Google Books, Kobo, or anywhere books are sold. Thanks for watching today, and until next time, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith.